The question we're answering today is, how do I become a communicator people actually listen to and act on? And in this video, I'm reviewing John Maxwell's book, The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication. And I'm going to share 3 of the laws that, if you apply them, will immediately change the way you speak, present, and even make YouTube videos. Maxwell says the purpose of communication isn't to impress your audience, it's to empower your audience. And that's exactly what we're going to do today, empower you to communicate better using his framework. So who is this book really for? Well, if you lead a team or a business, or you create content online, or you teach or sell or coach, or you just want your ideas to land better with the people you care about, this book is written for you. Maxwell quotes Harvard Business Review saying the #1 criteria for advancement and promotion for professionals is an ability to communicate effectively. So these laws are not just for speakers on stage, they're for anyone whose future depends on being understood and remembered. He also reminds us that no matter your audience, they want to be engaged. They want to understand you easily and be able to do something positive with what you tell them. If that's the kind of communicator you want to become, this book is going to be a strong fit for you. Now, I'm going to quickly review the book as a whole at the end, but first I want to get into 3 of the laws that stood out most from my own highlights and why they matter for you. The first law is the law of simplicity, and Maxwell's take is blunt on this. He says communicators take something complicated and make it simple, and he breaks this down with principles like less is more, clarity is power, clear is kind, stop trying to impress the audience, start helping your audience. Get to your point before people start asking, what's the point? He also warns most communicators have more to say than they have time to say it. You can't give people a 1,000-piece puzzle in a 100-piece time slot. What you can take away and use is, before your next talk, before your next video or your meeting, pick one main idea. You want people to walk away with not 5, but 1 main idea. And number 2, ask yourself Maxwell's 4 focusing questions. He says he wants people to say, what do I want people to see? What do I want people to know? What do I want people to feel? And what do I want people to do? Those 4 questions force you to strip away any fluff and to get simple. People want to understand you easily and to be able to do something positive with what you tell them. This law delivers exactly that. Now, the second law is the law of storytelling, and this one is huge for content creators and leaders. Maxwell says if you want to become an excellent communicator, you need to learn the law of storytelling, because people see their own lives in stories. He explains that every story has a hero, a goal, a conflict, and resolution, and that you can use stories for any purpose: to prove a point, to illustrate an idea, to teach a process, to break the tension, or just move your audience emotionally. He even quotes, "You're never going to kill storytelling because it's built into the human plan. Stories animate our reasoning process. Stories give us permission to act. Stories connect. Stories stick. Stories captivate us. And stories are us." Great storytellers capture traits like enthusiasm and joy, animation and movement, audience participation, humor, and telling stories in the first person so that they feel immediate and personal. So for your next presentation or video, instead of starting with a list of points, start with a short story. Who's the hero? It could be you, or it could be someone you helped. What did they want? What was the conflict? What changed at the end? Then use that story to teach your point. John Maxwell says, relive what you have learned, allowing the audience to relive it with you. Earn the audience's respect by sharing your wins, and gain their love by sharing your failures. That one shift from facts first to story first will make your communication more memorable overnight. The third law I want to highlight is about focusing on others and adding value. John Maxwell writes, "People who focus on themselves seek to gain attention. Speakers who focus on content give out information, but communicators who focus on others make a connection." And remember this, the purpose of communication isn't to impress your audience, it's to empower your audience. He gives a simple filter for what to include in your messages. He says anything that he uses must check one or more of these boxes. Does it have heart? Does it touch people emotionally? Does it help? Does it give people something they can think or do? Does it have humor? Does it make them laugh? Does it have hope? Does it inspire them and help them to believe in a better future? And he pushes us to ask, how do you feel about yourself? Do you believe you have value? Do you believe you have something to offer others? If you can answer yes to these questions and focus on people's values as you prepare your message and as you speak, it'll transform your communication. So before you hit record or walk on stage, ask yourself, where in this talk am I giving heart? Where am I giving help? A clear practical step. Where am I using a bit of humor or lightness? And where am I offering hope? If your message hits even 2 of those 4, people will experience what Maxwell calls the communicator who adds value. So how does the 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication hold up as a book? Well, this is what I liked. Number 1, it's extremely practical. It's full of checklists and questions like, what do I want people to see, know, feel, and do? And frameworks like starting your talk with a question or a quote or a prediction or a heart connection in the first 5 minutes. This makes the book really easy to apply. The second thing I liked is it's experience-based. Maxwell says he only speaks in his strength zones, which is communication, leadership, and relationships. This makes him have moral authority because he's lived it. This shows that the stories feel earned and they're not just theoretical. And the third thing I liked is that it constantly pulls you back to the audience. There's a quote from Nancy Duarte that says, "The audience is the hero who will determine the outcome of your idea, so it's important to know them fully." That theme runs through the book and makes it very people-centered. So who might not love this book? Well, if you're looking for super technical advice on things like slide design or camera gear or advanced storytelling structures, this book is more about principles and mindset rather than tactics. It's not a how to edit your videos book, it's how to think and show up as a communicator book. So circling back to our original question, how do I become a communicator people actually listen to and act on? From this book, the answer is make your message simple and clear, wrap it in a story so people see themselves in it, and focus relentlessly on adding value to others through heart, help, humor, and hope. If that resonates, I recommend picking up the 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication and, like Maxwell himself does, write out, think through, and apply every lesson before you teach it. Thanks for watching, and remember, your next conversation could change someone's life if you communicate it well. We'll see you on the next one.